Arianna Huffington's Thrive Global focuses on using behavior change technology and programs to improve your well-being. Now they've added another tool to their toolkit by acquiring Boundless Mind. It's an AI company whose algorithms are used to get people to walk more, finish to-do lists, and increase engagement with diet and exercise apps. And Arianna joins us this morning, of course, the CEO and founder of Thrive Global. Good to see you.
Great to be with you.
I love all of these technologies and things that nudge you to do the right thing. So tell us about Boundless and what it is.
So Boundless is a neuroscience-based AI company that actually uses all the data feedback loops to feed you better and better micro steps to improve your behavior. The whole point is that the way that we thought we could change behavior is through New Year resolutions, and that doesn't work. So Thrive has come up with what we call micro steps too small to fail.
So
the title of your next book, Andrew.
Give me an example.
So one example is how you start your day. Take 60 seconds before you go to your phone. 60 seconds, Joe, are you listening?
I don't have time.
60
I gotta do
seconds.
it right away.
If you don't have 1 minute, you don't have a life. To set your intention for the day.
You got it.
Yeah.
To remember what you're grateful for. To do something that gets your mind in the right frame to start the day.
Are you telling me to do this, or is Boundless going to tell me to do this?
Well, we're going to feed you that micro step if we think that you're going to respond to it. We know Joe is not going to respond to it, so we're going to feed him a different micro step. We're going to feed him maybe a micro step to go fly fishing, or to play a round of golf, or something that will help him disconnect from Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and all the things that he watches that drive his stress level up.
Yes.
My first 60 seconds, I
For him,
wake
watching
up.
those shows are relaxing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, in the echo chamber, just come. No, the first 60 seconds that I wake up, I have to remember what I'm anxious about.
No, that's
I have to
exactly
refocus everything that I'm anxious about that day. Don't you, Andrew?
But you know, Joe,
That usually happens in the first 60 seconds when I see you.
When you see me.
But that's precisely what we need to change. And what's happening right now is that 90% of healthcare costs and healthcare problems are stress-related, lifestyle-related, and preventable. If we don't change that, this whole conversation around access and healthcare financing is like at the margin. We got to change why so many people are sick.
How do you use AI to know what's going to work for Joe, what's going to work for me, what's going to work for Andrew, for Mohammed? How do you?
Well, that's exactly how AI is now used largely for bad, right? To hook us to unhealthy behavior.
To look at Instagram again.
To look at Instagram again, to play Fortnite all night. So we want to use, and that's what Boundless does, the same techniques that hook us to unhealthy behaviors to hook us to healthy behaviors. It sounds like a paradox, but the bottom line is that we need the power of AI to know exactly how to personalize the micro steps we're going to give you.
And is this going to be sold as a service to consumers? Is this part of the B2B operation?
B2B,
This
yes.
B2B. So you're working with companies around the world.
Exactly.
And the idea is that you're going to offer this to them as a service.
As a service. We already offer them workshops, 90-minute digital programs on mental health or performance, but this product is going to make everything else we do sustainable and scalable around the world. And also redefine wellness, because right now wellness, which is a $4 trillion industry, has a little bit of a warm and fuzzy feeling about it, and we want to make it very science-driven and data-driven.
Can I just ask you a question about your business model? Because I find it interesting that you decided to focus on the enterprise customer. You are really an enterprise business. It's not, I mean, there is a consumer play part of it, but I feel like the engine of the company is an enterprise business.
Entirely.
But that's a flip, that's almost the antithesis for a lot of companies that go into this health issue and space that you're in. They think of it as a consumer play.
Right, but a lot of them are now changing. Like, look at Headspace, the meditation app. It's now focusing much more on the enterprise. What happens is that if you focus on the consumer, you have very high marketing costs and customer acquisition costs, and also the churn is much higher. While if you go through the enterprise, you have many ways to engage the user. We have to actually, in the interest of full disclosure, we have to tell you that Mohammed is an investor in Thrive.
An initial investor. How many years ago?
Yes, actually, early on, 3 years ago.
And by the way, coincidence. He didn't know you were coming on.
No, I know.
We booked the other way around.
Go ahead.
So let me explain, why this makes total sense. And I didn't know she was coming on. And I didn't know about this acquisition until yesterday. If you're running a business, you know this is a problem, right? You look around, your people are stressed, it lowers productivity, you are aware that this is an issue. And if you can go from awareness to slow nudging to behavior modification, you get better productivity.
Yes.
And that's the hypothesis.
Before we let you go, you wrote a piece on Thrive Global about Bernie Sanders and
Yes.
Bernie Sanders' health. Are you supportive of Bernie Sanders as a business leader yourself right now?
Right now, all that I'm saying is that Bernie Sanders had an opportunity to use his heart attack that made him one of the 790,000 people in America who have a heart attack a year as a teachable moment to educate people about the power we have to prevent heart attacks. About the stress in our lives, what we eat. You showed a picture at the beginning of what people are eating, the lack of sleep, the lack of movement. All these are conditions that, if they are not intervened with, will lead to heart disease.
Right. But if it's him or Trump, and I know your feelings about the president, is it him for you?
It's not going to be him.
Not going to be him.
This is my prediction on CNBC.
Arianna Huffington, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.